You are listening to the Earplug Podcast Network, a Fanboys Inc. production.
And we are live. I am Louis Perry. That is.
Up with my. There we go.
What is wrong? You have
shining through. There. Somebody
Yes,
moved
I
my
see it.
thing.
What are you doing? You're so unprofessional. Come on, we gotta get to the page.
Yeah, I'm having all kinds of technical difficulties tonight, and
I know you're late. We're late and everything.
Well,
we got the highs coming in.
early.
Look at Donald.
My computer was like not happening.
I know. Donald said hi. Anyway, we're running
Hi.
a little bit behind, and look at that. Aviva's jumping in saying, "Evening to both of you from Mark and
Hello.
Hello, Aviva." Anyway, Jamie, you booked this guest. Now I know this guest. This guest is he actually was one of the ones that was very so kind to me way back in the day. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But you booked this guest. It's your guest. So you introduced our guest right now. And
I never get to introduce the guest.
No, but this is all you. So go ahead.
We have Jason Casey with us tonight.
Yay! Casey! There he is.
No, I didn't say that. I swear to God, I didn't make that noise. What was it?
I thought it was you.
I think he did. I'm not sure. Hey,
no, I don't know how to make that
says,
noise.
"Hey, nice background."
I was like, how's he doing that without moving his mouth?
this time with COVID, I've been teaching myself a lot of new tricks because I've had so much free time on my hands. And one of those things was sounding like a really congested lizard, whatever that
Yeah,
noise was.
oh, whatever that was.
Yeah. Okay. So Jason, we were talking backstage while we were waiting for Jamie to come on. When I started this journey way like 8 years ago, almost 8.5 years ago, you were the first people to actually give me the time of day. And I want to thank you for that. I'm not sure if you felt bad for me or just bored. I'm not sure, but I want to say thank you for being one of the first to like jump on the camera with me and to actually work with my style and how we do things and how we conduct ourselves on camera. We bring a different, I would just a different style, a different approach to the people that so-called claim they're experts. Each brand, we just bring it.
We just have fun.
Yeah, we just have fun. But I want to thank you for actually giving us a chance way back in the.
Even though I wasn't around back then, but I believe it because that's just the kind of person that you are, Jason.
Oh, well, thank you very much. One of the biggest takeaways that I've gotten, really the general consensus from a lot of people that I know on the con scene. I've been doing it for 10 years. I mean, I've been on a break for 2 years and I'm looking to come back next year, but we'll get into that. But, you broke into this 8 years ago. That means I was probably in my 3rd year doing Comic Cons. And again, one of the biggest, I think, things I'm most proud of as a person is not really about my art. It's about the help I've given along the way. Because I believe in paying it forward. I believe in giving back. I had help along the way at times in my life when I was so low that I didn't think I was going to get out of it. And then all of a sudden, bam, in comes this person or this moment, and it's like life changing, and it just keeps you going for the next day. And once I learned that that's basically all life is, I realized you have to start reciprocating and doing that too. And my favorite thing to do at cons is to meet young upstart creators, whether they're artists or filmmakers or anything, and give them as much advice and positivity and encouragement that I can muster up. And I've been doing that, and accumulating this wonderful, I call us, we're not a con family. We're just family at this point, I see all of you people for the last 10 to 12 years I've been doing this. I see you not just, online, but in person at shows more than I see my immediate family. And you're always there to support me and lift me up when I'm having a tough time because, I'll post about that stuff just as much as I post my art. So for me to see you all doing this and still kicking butt and beyond and just like seeing where it's going, it's inspirational because I'm on that same track where you've been working at something for years and you're now starting to see a payoff, and it's like, all right, it worked. All that time I invested, it manufactured itself, and it's going to where I want it to. And now, not only does that happen, but your confidence gets higher, and it just becomes a little easier day to day. So
I wouldn't say easier or confidence gets higher. We just went from a little camera to a big camera.
But you know that when you first started and you had the microphone up to whomever you were interviewing, your heart's beating faster. You want to make sure you're hitting the right points and the questions and coming across the way that you interpret yourself, doing it in your head. And as a performer, because you're not just holding a microphone asking questions, you're in front of a camera, and when that happens, the pressure's on, your anxiety's hitting, your heart rate's going a little faster than it normally is, and you feel like you have a obligation to get the best out of the person that you're interviewing. So no, it's not just a camera change, my friend. It's you've all grown and gotten better as time's gone on. And it's only going to get better from here,
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You're on because you have a Kickstarter, and the Angry Geek side, we love helping out people with Kickstarters. And finish this for me. Where did the concept come from? Where did it I mean, where did it come from? Let's pop it up right here. Here we go from YouTube.
Ooh.
That
Whoop, whoop.
started right
That's
there.
the link, everybody.
That is a long link.
That is a very what the hell? I mean, that is a very long
That's
link.
the link
There's
that
an
Lou-
abbreviated version of that somewhere.
There,
I'll get that
there
for you
certainly
later.
is.
That's the link on Facebook and here Periscope, all through Periscope and Twitter. There you go. That's a short ass link,
Yeah,
right?
that's a better
link
one.
that you want. Maybe we can
I
copy.
mean, at least though, if they're in the chat, they can just click on it, so they don't have
Yeah,
to type
just
all that
click
stuff.
on those links and go. Now, I was looking at the Kickstarter.
Mhm.
Where did the idea come from?
A couple years ago, I started doing just ink drawings. Mostly my work is graphite and ink. I've dabbled with some color, but I'm mostly a black and white artist. And I created a book called Flora and Fauna that's filled with 30 pencil and ink drawings. And then that led to my illustration book, Fantastical, which I kickstarted, and that was a success too. I'm going for 2 with this one. Oh, wait, I already hit my goal in one day. I forgot.
Right? Which
So
is huge. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
Oh, that was an amazing surprise. But when I did Fantastical, before I started posting the colored versions, I posted just the inks. And I had a lot of people inquiring if I was going to sell these ink drawings as standalone prints or something they could color themselves because they want to color over my work. And then more and more of those inquiries started happening. And then all of a sudden, someone's like, you should just do a coloring book. And it took a lot longer than I wanted. But I got it going a few months ago, and I got all the illustrations that I need. And I thought it would just be a cute title. Finish these for me. You've been wanting to color my work. Well, here you go. Here's 30 illustrations. So yeah, the coloring book's going to be on mixed media paper. So you can use colored pencil, crayon, paint, pencil and ink, whatever you want. So it's going to be good quality paper that you can tear out and hang up. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be done in the next month and a half.
We had seen over at when we were at Colorado Springs Comic Con, we seen I believe it was 2 or 3 different artists that had coloring books. Do you think this
I
is
love the coloring books.
Yeah.
I love them.
There's a huge market for it now that adults want their own coloring books too. I mean, there's no saying, there's no definition that when you hit a certain age, you can't color anymore, So what's been great is this influx of illustrators like myself that are making young adult to adult illustration coloring books for grownups. And that's what you're seeing in the Comic-Con scene is more of that stuff happening. I wouldn't be surprised
Jamie bought
if
one.
seeing that like at major cons all over the country, to be honest.
So what kind of tiers? What kind of tiers do you have? Brian Rose says this is very interesting. What kind of tiers do you have for your Kickstarter? It's a lot of our audience like to hear these rewards.
Yeah. I know it's all about those tiers. Let's see if I can think from them. The first one is $30, which gets you a print of the covered of the book, which is a beta fish. 50 is the print and the book. 75 is the beta print, the book, and a few other prints. And then just kind of, I can't remember the rest.
I can pull it up right now.
Yeah.
Talking. I'm getting there. Oh, all right.
Just
Here we go.
3,000, which guaranteed
Yes.
one of my newest picks as a print. It's a crow.
And I love that one.
Oh, thank you. The next one is 3,500, which will be enamel pin of a skull illustration of mine. Not sure which one, or if we're gonna make a brand new one.
This? I was gonna say, is it the skull with the mushrooms?
Oh, I have a lot of skull drawings.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah.
But
I think I might make a brand new one for the enamel pin.
Lou, chill with the noises.
I hit the computer is just doing it.
Oh my god!
I was wondering what that was. I thought your stomach was gurgling or something, Lou.
No, that would be Jamie's.
Echo too. Or am I the only one
maybe.
hearing an echo?
No, I think you're the only one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But yeah, so it looks like, where did you stop at 75 or 100?
Oh,
for your
there's 1 to 100, but then I started doing every time we hit a new 500 mark, I started adding more.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
that would
didn't
be in
see
the
that.
updates?
Yeah, so I got up to 100 is a copy of the book, prints and stickers, and some of my best illustrations, and then updates. Where is
You guys
the
are so great for
updates?
doing
Here we
this.
go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, that's no problem. Yeah, so let's see. Update 1. That was we hit our goal in 1 day, which was awesome.
Still can't believe
I was excited. I was excited for you. I kept looking. Update 2 was at, let's see, 3,000 means you all get a 5x7 glossy stock print of the Rest in Sand piece.
Yeah.
And there is a picture of that if you go to his updates. And then update 3 is if he got to 3,500, which every backer of 50 or more gets a die struck pin of the skull illustration.
Yeah,
So,
we're close to hitting that mark. I think we're like 300.
Yeah, you're like right there.
Right there.
And Uncle Joe comes in. Uncle Joe says,
Hey.
Jay, read it.
What's up, Joe?
I have several. Sorry, did you want me to read it or do you want Jason to read it?
No, you can read it.
Okay. I have several pieces of artwork from Jason. They're amazing, and I will keep them all and hand them down to my son.
Wow. Thank you, Joe. Miss you, buddy. I miss so many people from the con scene. I can't wait to come back next year. But I told myself I wasn't coming back unless I come back right, and that's with my own comic book. And if you might, I want to lead into this. Back in May, I pitched my buddy Chris Philbrook, who's a wonderful author. He's got over 20 books under his belt. I pitched him this idea I had for the last 3 years. Very simple premise, just the first scene of a comic book and the title. I can't tell you either at the moment. And he said, get your butt over here. We're going to talk about this. And we talked for 5 straight hours. We built the world. We built the characters. Like it was like meeting my brother. It was unbelievable, like the connection we had, not just as friends, but creatively. And then from that, we decided, well, if we're going to do a book, then we should just start a comic book company too. Why not? And we are both Gen X kids who are latchkey kids. For younger people, what it meant was we would come home from school, maybe 10, 11 years old, and we'd have our own set of keys. And we would be home alone from like 2 to 5, 2 to 6, because we got parents that are still working. And our generation that did that were called latchkey kids. And we just thought that was a great. Well, actually, the name came from, we made a fake band for this comic that was grunge era called the Latchkey Kids. And then we said, well, screw it. That's such a great name. And it represents us. Why don't we make Latchkey Comics? So,
okay.
Yeah. So it's him and I working on a couple projects with a few other artists. And we're hoping in the next year to two to bring more and more talent in and have them work under our banner and just really go. And what's so exciting about this for me as an artist who has so many art friends that I've made in the con scene, I want to be able to give them work later on, whether it's variant covers or their own, projects. Like, I'm just really excited about this whole deal, because for a lot of people that don't know, I started drawing when I was a kid because I got a Spider-Man comic when I was about 8. And I immediately just started trying to recreate Mark Bagley, his work. It was Amazing Spider-Man 353. I still have it, my first comic. So that led to my collecting, which all my allowance for the next 5 to 6 years went to Hammer's Comics in Manchester, New Hampshire, every Friday after school. And it led to me learning how to draw from these artists, Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, Eric Larson, like everyone from the early to mid 90s. I was just trying to emulate their work. And it took a while for me to develop my own style, but I eventually got there. I feel like I'm rambling a lot.
No, you're doing fine. I do have a question about the coloring book.
Okay.
A lot of your artwork that attracted me were a lot of the fantasy stuff, the Star Wars stuff, the Game of Thrones stuff, the Dark Crystal stuff.
Yeah.
Your coloring book is all wildlife, correct?
No, it's all original work. Some of it is from Fantastical. Some of it is from the last year of all the work I've been doing. But no, none of it's fan art. It's all original work.
That's what I was asking you.
We have some samples on the Kickstarter page too that you can look at.
Yeah, on the homepage. If you scroll down, there's 3 examples. I'm really excited about some of the pieces. Well, all of the pieces, but some of the pieces that I've done in the last 6 months that have made the cut for this book, I think a lot of people are going to enjoy drawing or coloring over.
All right, Jason. What I am going to do is, Jamie, keep talking for one quick second.
Oh God. I love when you do this to me. Oh, good. You pulled it up. There you
Yes.
go.
So, Jason, what explain to us what this piece is right here?
Okay, so the original piece is obviously fully colored, but what I thought would be a neat trick for the cover would to be only the fish is colored, but the rest of the flora, the greenery around them isn't, and which is just showing what the book is from the very get-go. You don't even have to read.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too.
Now, Jason, who's this guy right here?
Oh man, that picture was taken by the man Dante Luna probably 6 or 7 years ago. One of my favorite pictures of myself.
Okay. And what can you tell us about this piece?
Oh, I love drawing birds. I never thought that would be a thing, but when I started drawing 3 years ago, yeah, Jamie, your work is great. Please start working again.
Thanks.
I know what it's like to have those breaks where you just lose it, but it comes back. And when it comes back stronger. You just have to seize it. So please, that post you posted the other day of the owl. So good. So good.
Thank you.
Yeah, find the time to start again. But yeah, I started falling in love with drawing animals when I did the flora and fauna book 3 years ago. And I've just, kept up with it. And I find that 50% of the time, if I'm doing an illustration now, there's got to be an animal somewhere on there.
Now, this piece right here, I believe when I first saw this, Jason, this will make a pretty badass tattoo.
Yeah. I was just thinking that too.
This would get me into the Mayans.
Such a cool tattoo. It might actually.
I would have to send this to Michael Irby or Frankie Loyal because this would get me into the Mayans, Jason. This, how long did the pencils take you for this?
I've gotten quicker over the years. So the pencils wasn't the hard part. It was the inks.
Wow.
I basically give myself a very quick pencil layout, and then I find the lines with the ink. And again, that was something I taught myself with the flora and fauna book was I was just doing really loose pencil outlines and just really trusting myself with those permanent ink lines. And it was paying off. And that, again, talking about confidence earlier, my confidence now with my line control is at a level I never thought it would be. So the inking was the hardest part because the pencils are just a really loose roadmap. And then I find the direction with the ink. But I'd say probably 10 to 12 straight hours, pencil to ink. And then I colored it digitally the next day. And it's one of my favorite pieces. It's actually hanging up in the Rain Mills Gallery in Pawtucket, Rhode Island right now.
Cool.
And it's going to be at another gallery at the end of October. Oh, God, I can't remember the name of it. It just won Best of Rhode Island for the 5th year in a row. Let me look for that while you, because I just got 3 pieces accepted to that as well.
That's
and
so
then,
awesome.
Congratulations.
Yeah, a lot's been happening. I got my own studio shop at Hope Artiste Village, Unit 2204 in Pawtucket. And that's another dream come true. And then Windows on Pawtucket, which is a thing that the Pawtucket Art Collaborative do every year. They put up 30 artists' work all over the city in windows of businesses. And I've got 2 pieces on 150 Main Street, Pawtucket, hanging up right now for the next year. All of this happened in like 2 weeks.
And didn't you just do something else too? Like, aren't you doing something like some kind of show or?
Yeah.
What was that?
Right. I completely forgot. I'm hosting and promoting my own show called Artist Alley in Warren. It's going to take place at 4 Market Street, Warren, Rhode Island, November 20th and 21st. I'm going to have a whole array, about 8 to 10 creators of all kinds that are going to be set up like an artist alley. The collaborative in Warren just bought a new building, and they're renting it out to people that are members. And as soon as I got that email, I immediately went, I've always wanted to promote a show like a Comic-Con. This is going to be smaller in nature and feature only with creators. But if you see the building and the room, it's perfect. It's like a perfect U. It has an entrance and exit, so you have to see everybody.
You just have to walk through,
Yeah. And that weekend, there's already going to be all this stuff happening downtown anyway, and it's right at the edge of downtown. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And because I'm part of the collaborative and they're just doing this, you can rent it out every weekend. there's no reason why if this doesn't, if this goes well, not to do it 2 or 3 times a year next year as well.
So it's not a comic book convention. It is just an artist alley. It's to showcase artists. That's a brilliant idea. That's a one of a kind. I mean, with no vendors but artists. That is a one of a kind idea.
It's like an artist market, except it's in a building, and it's going to be presented like an artist alley where everyone's got their 6-foot tables, they got their drape with art behind them, and it's going to be really great. I'm already just working out how it's going to look, how we're going to spruce it up. But yeah, lots happening at the moment.
Yeah, you're busy.
Definitely Angry Geeks approve. Jamie, Uncle Joe comes in with another comment.
Yes, he says, my favorite piece from Jason. It's the pencil charcoal Yoda drawing, 11 by 17, framed and hanging in my home office.
One of my best sellers for years. There was a point in time where all I needed was my Yoda, my Bob Ross drawing group, and my Crow print, and I would have had a good con. I didn't need other 40, 50 pieces. Like, it was just those 3. Bam, 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 bam. It was a great time. Yeah, it was a great time.
And Aviva comes in. Aviva also.
And Nero, too. Aviva says, I love that idea. We wish we could go, but already doing our own show for my stuff that weekend.
Oh, nice. Well, best of luck to you that weekend for you.
All right, so Jason, are you still available for commissions?
Oh, yeah. Right now, I'm currently trying to teach myself a cartoony style of drawing for one of the books that Chris.
Sorry, this dog is just.
That is not one of my sound effects. That is not one of the.
He throws like a hissy fit in the middle of the show, and that's what he's rolling on the floor right now, just going ah.
That is not my sound effects. I promise. That is not.
That was.
No, that wasn't. That's not James. It is not. Not at all. That's the actual dog. That is not a sound effect coming from the machine there.
Nero.
So okay, so what your commission list? What is your lead time on the commission?
Oh man, right now I need 2 to 3 days. I don't have anything right now. I've just been working on my own stuff. Yeah, it's been a weird year, a little ups and downs in that department, but I think it's because I needed to focus more on what I'm doing. And I've got full-time work with my girlfriend at Hasbro doing set design for commercials. So money's coming in. Obviously, it would be nice to pick up some commissions in the fall for Christmas season. But right now, I've really got to hunker down and focus on the projects that Chris and I are doing. Currently, I'm trying to teach myself a cartoony style of drawing for one of the books that we're doing because I think it warrants that rather than like a realistic style. So it's unknown territory, like not like Rick and Morty style, but just way more cartoony than what I'm used to. So that's my goal in the next 2 months is to get this style going and get used to it. So once the pages come in for this book, I'm ready to go.
Well, I just got you some work. Uncle Joe comes in and says, since you're available for a commission, how about a baby Yoda to go with the big Yoda?
I love drawing Yoda. Yes, Joe, you got me.
So, all right, let's book it, Uncle Joe. He's gonna do it. Wow, do I get a percentage of this? No.
Yeah. I'll send you a print. No.
Wow, you're gonna send me a print. Actually, I don't have any of your artwork here in the Geek Lair. That's a shame. I just realized.
I'll get your address at the end of this interview, man. We'll take care of that.
Oh, I know. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I got you, man. You guys having me on for this has been wonderful. I'll happily send you both, whatever you want.
Well,
no, you don't have to do that.
I'm
just gonna get a coloring book when you have them. And then, so here's what I do because I'm so annoying. I color the picture, and then I post my progress on Instagram, and then I constantly tag the artist with every update. So you're always getting blown up.
In all the years I've been drawing, I never really collaborated with anybody. So it will be so wild to see people putting their colors over my work. I can't wait. It's going to be really fun. And it's like, it's unbelievable.
It's got to be so cool.
Now you can kick this to the curb. You can do whatever, but me being the flamboyant showman that I am,
wheels
always turning. Did you think about to even progress this Kickstarter along even more, to get this coloring book out there even more, about having a coloring contest where someone gets a sketch done by you for the best collaboration.
Wow, that's actually, Lou, that's pretty smart.
Yeah, let's do
That's
that.
right.
Let's book that.
Who's the showman? Who is the whole show?
Wow.
Wow. And
Mr.
who
Monday Night.
outsells
Mr.
t-shirts in
Monday
Angry
Night.
Geeks? Who gets
What?
Jamie Dolan fan? Who sells more? Yeah. There you
You're
go.
the one that made the shirt. I
I
didn't even know you were doing it.
I know. What the hell? Jason, I mean, you can say it's a dumb idea. You can say this is now, if you listening on Earplug Podcast Network, watching on Public Access TV, or right here live streaming on the internet, whether it be YouTube or anywhere else, that is not Jason's idea. This is not Jason. I'm just being me, spouting off at the mouth right now. I think, marketing wise, flamboyant wise, yeah, brother.
I mean, I think that's a good, that's a really
And,
good
and
way to
Axel,
stir up
I just dig the hat. Too bad Jason didn't. He laughed at me when I said, you know what, I got to put a hat on really quick. And Jason laughed at
Wait,
the hat.
why did you put a hat on? Because I was having technical difficulties.
Oh, because my hair looked really bad, and I thought because I didn't put no,
Oh,
wasn't spiked, so I put the hat on.
let me see.
No.
Hey man, it's better than mine.
So yeah. Well, I do get a new. Jamie, you're gonna be very upset, but not with me. Because Rhode Island Comic Con Gene Pair #3 is gonna be. Yeah.
Oh no.
You wait to see these. Oh
Are
yeah.
you up to 8 hats now?
No. Hat wise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Got up right in front of him. So okay.
Oh, Jason. Just wait. And I want to give I know, Jason, this is your time, but I do want to say thank you to Axel for some new T-shirt designs for the Angry Geeks, where the tie-dye T-shirts, they are rocking and rolling, man. Axel, I love them, brother. I can't wait for us to debut them. The lavender ones, a classic Macho Man color. I love that one, and I know Jamie's gonna like the colors that you picked out for her. Can't wait to see them. Now back to my idea.
I like it.
Yes, Aviva. Yeah, the T-shirts will be at Rhode Island for purchase. This is not about us. This is about Jason. We gotta start talking about Jason. Let's buy Jason's book.
Yes.
I just popped into my head about that. I think that would be.
No,
I'm all about.
And having involvement with people on social media and stuff like that is something I need to get better at. People want me to live stream my drawing. I'm just not really good at that. When I'm in the my art space, it's just me, myself, and I, and my music. It's tough for me because I feel like I have to be communicating and talking while I'm live streaming. But in terms of like making a competition, like who's got the best coloring over my work, I think it would be hard because it's hard to judge that. Maybe I'd have to have maybe you, Lou, could judge it, because I wouldn't feel comfortable judging that.
Yeah.
Well, I would, Jason, I'd be honored, or if I would, Jamie and I both would be honored. But
yes, please.
You can also set up a website, or say, hey, vote here and tally up the votes. Let the masses.
Yeah, I think what's going to be the most interesting is people who not only color the work, but they make it their own interpretation. Maybe they add some more art to it. Maybe they add some color lighting to it that I didn't even think was possible, because I had one idea for the piece and they just spun it into a 180 and had their own.
That's what I was going to bring up to you. Like how cool it must be to eventually see how people interpret that black and white drawing into something in their own mind.
Yeah,
I'm doing the book that I got at Colorado, and I part of me wants to know, like, what does the girl think? Because I tag her, but she doesn't really comment. But I wonder, does she think I'm doing her art justice, or is she like, oh my god,
No, I'm sure she's gonna be just like me, flattered. It's flattering to think that people want to spend their art time working on my work in their own way. It's unbelievable, and I can't wait for that first one to come in. Jamie, I hope it's you, but yeah, tag
it probably
away.
will be, because now I'm excited. I'm like,
I can't wait to see everybody's work in the next few months when the book's done.
Yeah. And I love your new what do they call that on Facebook? It's not a banner. Your cover image that you just put up.
Oh, the
I
ram
love
skull
that one.
flowers.
Yes.
Yeah. I had
That
a
was
good
awesome too.
2 weeks in Rhode Island full time. For those who don't know, I would draw at my local Starbucks in New Hampshire for 3 years. That was my studio.
I remember
basically.
you doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had the last 2 weeks in New Hampshire before I came to Rhode Island full time. My on fire. The Death Blossoms piece, the skull you just showed, the ram skull, my ballerina piece coming out of a flower, Lord of the Rings piece, Bilbo and Gandalf, that I had 5 pieces in 2 weeks, and it was just like I was on fire. And I'm trying to bring that to my studio, but it's weird getting adjusted to this space because for 3 years, 95% of the time when I was drawing, it was in a coffee shop. It just felt comfortable and just got easier over time.
Yeah, it became your space.
Yeah.
It's like when you move and you can't sleep because you're not familiar,
Yes.
you know, and you just have to get into that groove again.
That's exactly it. And I love my studio. I'm hopeful that people will start coming back to the Hope Artist Village, the building it's in. The farmers market that it was known for having in the spring and fall left last year. So we're trying to get people, into the building because yes, I got this space to do work, but it's also a really cool shop too. So yeah, getting acclimated and used to the space, going to take a little bit of time, but I'm getting there. I did the Raven and the Skull today, and it feels like home now. But me, I'm not really equal to art, and here's this studio where there's 30 pieces of mine on the wall surrounding me. And it's just like, whoa, it's just going to take time to get used to is all.
Yeah. You'll get there, though.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope so.
So, Jason, what's your favorite thing to draw?
Mm-hmm.
And Jason froze. Yeah, Jason is having some tech.
Oh, he's moving again.
He's moving again.
I wasn't sure if it was me or if it was
No,
somebody else.
it's Jason.
As far as fan art goes, Spider-Man and Yoda is at the top of the list. But now doing regular illustrations, I like drawing skulls. Yeah, I like drawing flora. I love drawing trees. Again, if you told 30-year-old Jason that someday he'd enjoy drawing trees, he would have laughed in your face. But that's the beautiful thing about it. When you push yourself and challenge yourself, and that's what I did 3 years ago with my flora and fauna book. It's like, let's just draw things you've never drawn before in a style that you've never really drawn before. And then that led to Fantastical, where it's like, oh, I'm actually doing original, things with my work with creatures and composition. Whereas before I was just a poster artist who made fan art. I'll be real. That's what I did. And I had fun with that. But at 2016, 2017, I hit a wall. I didn't like going to cons anymore. I didn't like seeing what I was producing, and I needed a change. And I just happened to have a spark, and I rode that wave, and it's changed my life. Like, I don't call myself an artist until I hit 38. 38, 3 years ago. Like, I became an artist then. Before that, I was just someone that was good at drawing. But I became a real creator 3 years ago. So I feel like I'm just getting started.
Okay. So now, with the Latchkey Comics, will you be writing anything as well?
I've been contributing with Chris. Like I told you, the whole first comic we're doing, we created that world together. And it was back and forth, and it was like taking ideas, and then maybe he would sprinkle something on and make it better, and then I would do that. It's very collaborative. I helped edit the first issue of our first book. Can't say the title yet. I'm definitely going to be a little jack of all trades, where I'll be doing some coloring over people's pencils and inks, some editing, and then maybe lettering. I might have to teach myself at this point, or we may have to find our own letterer out there somewhere and pay him a little scratch. That's on me. If I do well enough that I think it's going to be good enough for the artwork that's in the book. So to answer your question, it's going to be a very collaborative thing for the first year or two. Absolutely.
Okay. Speaking of the first year or two, when is the launch? When can we have the exclusive? When can we have you on before you're on with anyone else, or you can do the circuit, be on with everyone else, be on with the rest, and then you could be on with the best. It's totally up to you.
Jesus, Lord.
Book? You referring to the first comic book issue?
He
Yes.
is.
I'm referring to when it's going to be launched and when you're going to come back to talk about it with Chris. So I'm saying you could be on the other shows, go do the other shows, be with the rest before you return with the best. So that's what I'm saying.
The only thing I can tell you is that with the first issue, I did help the premise of this too, Chris. But when I got the script, I was very honest with myself that I'm not ready for this book yet. I've never done sequentials. I've never done a comic book. And I wanted to make sure that someone was on this book that exists because of me, that's going to do it justice. And we found somebody else to do it. I'm going to be coloring over their work. There's another comic that we're working on that I pitched to Chris, that the cartoon that I told you about, that's going to be more alien and fantastical, that I think I'm going to excel at. That's the one I'm doing the main drawing for. As far as that first book goes, our artist won't be ready to draw it for another month and a half because he's backed up with commissions, he or she. And they're going to get done within 2 months. So by end of year, we're hoping for that first issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
it's
now,
tough. Chris is taking all the writing responsibilities, and I think he's editing 2 novels and then working on his next one. He is a monster. Like, he doesn't stop working. Plus, he's got 2 young girls and a wonderful wife, and he's got, he's a family man too. So I don't know how he does it. So he's currently writing the first series that we're doing that's being drawn by somebody else, and he's working on the layout and the world for that cartoony alien book that I'm doing. So we're not trying to rush anything, but because we want to make sure that when it's done right. But that first issue, we're pretty hopeful by end of year. That's your question.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That totally answers it. When you find people to collaborate with or to work on your books, such as another artist or a colorist, and you were talking about maybe even a letterer, where do you go? Do you go to friends? Do you hit the trades? Do you hit the group chats?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, Jamie and we would work with another creator and we would find out, oh, we go overseas. We find this. We go through here. It's word of mouth. Where do you go? Where does Jason Casey go to find the people that he wants to work in? Is it home?
Yeah, fortunately for me, over the last 12 years of my life being in the Comic-Con scene, I've acquired a huge family of creators who have something to the table in all aspects of creation, writing, inking, penciling, coloring, even marketing. I just have to go to my Facebook feed and see who's online. But with this first book,
what? No.
With the first book, when I was finding a substitution for myself for this book, which was very personal, I had a few people at the top of the list, and fortunately, the one that was up at the top agreed. So I'm really excited. But yeah, I have an endless list amount of people that I can go to. And it's great because I'm giving people work that I respect and I know and admire. And I know that I'm going to get quality from them because I've seen them get better and better over the years too. So yeah, it's not hard to find. I'm heavily involved in the Comic-Con scene. And again, hundreds and hundreds of people I've come to know and stay in touch with. And again, con family. It's real, and we take care of each other.
Okay. Name dropping time. What are some? Give me an artist. Give me 2 artists that you have not worked with yet that you want to work with because their artwork just blows you away. Independent ones. They could be published. They could be not published. Let's say con family. Who do you see at the show and are like, I have to do something with this cat?
Oh, you mean if Latchkey Comics gets bigger and bigger, we can afford to bring in people next year that can do the
Correct.
Oh man, Sean French is a wonderful writer and editor. Ian Nichols,
good friend of ours. Okay.
Yeah, he's a wonderful person and a great artist. Chris Campana would be wonderful to work with. Oh God, Frankie Washington, Enrique Zavery, Joe St. Pierre.
Yep. Nothing good.
It would be wonderful to see Amanda Dufresne get involved with comic book art, even if it's just covers. I mean, I think she's already doing that, actually. You want me to name big name people?
Anybody you want, and this is your
Not that
time.
that's not a big name, but I'm thinking like Jay Lee and Becky Cronin and all them. Yeah.
Yeah, anybody you want. This is your dream. This is your anybody you want.
If there is somebody that I would love to just, I'll bookend this. If there's somebody that I would love to see do a variant cover of one of my books, it would be Jay Lee. He's one of my favorite artists of all time. Eduardo Rizzo.
Ooh.
From 100 Bullets. He's great. Oh, geez, I have so many. Yeah, we could be here all day talking about that. But as far as people that are like in the New England Comic-Con scene that I've come to know, yeah, there's a laundry list of people that Chris keeps trying to reel me in. I'm getting way too ahead, and that can lead to disaster. We have to bit by bit do this right. But yeah, the moment we started talking about this, the first thing my mind went to wasn't about what I'm doing. It's about what I can do for other people and what they could bring to the table if they want to work under our banner. Yeah, I can't wait for what's to come.
And there you have it. All right, guys, we are just about ready at the 8:00 mark. We got to let Jason go, and I got to go, and so does Jamie. So once again, we're going to pop up the link to Jason's Kickstarter. Please go over there and help him. Let's get this launched even more, even though it is funded.
Share it, get it out there.
Yeah, please share it, get it out there.
All the proceeds for the book is going for the production of the book and obviously for all the rewards, but it's also paying for the studio that I just moved into. So, yeah.
So there you have it. Please go there, support this Kickstarter. It is Angry Geeks approved. Jason, please tell everyone where they can find you online if they do want a commission to get you back out there. Where can they find you on the social medias and the internets?
All right. You can find me at Jason Casey Art on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook with Jason Casey fan page. You can find me at Etsy/shop/Jason Casey Art, and TikTok and Tumblr at Jason Casey, but those don't matter. Those first ones, those don't matter. Yeah, I have a website too, jasoncaseyart.com. That needs to be revised and reworked a little bit. But Etsy is the best place to find me for buying my work, and Instagram's the best place to find me to contact me about commissions.
There you go.
Thank you both.
You're welcome, Jamie. Please tell everyone where they can find you and I each and every week.
You can find both of us at theangrygeekshow.com or everywhere else at The Angry Geeks. I am everywhere at that WonderWoman.1.
And I'm Louis Perry. We'll see you guys all next week. Thank you for watching, and we want to thank Jason Casey once again for being on. Stay safe, stay classy, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
This has been an Earplug Podcast presentation. Found on earplugpodcast.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, and wherever your favorite podcasts are found.